No, not yet. They were just big plays coming back to back. But that's one thing that we try and do, especially as a defense, just make turnovers, change the game.
Why is that important for you guys? I mean, we know why, but
yeah, it's very important, but that's what we expect from ourselves. When you got the best defense in the league, you got to do it in practice. That's where it starts at. So.
What's your impression been of the rookie cornerbacks so far?
Oh, they've been grinding. You could tell the jump they had from OTAs, especially with Trey and Q Meeks. They've been making plays, and they're coachable, and they started to show it, especially on the film. You seen what Trey did today with the pick in the red zone, and, we all just happy for him, and we can't wait to see him do it first game.
How nice is it to have Jalen back?
It's very nice. Our coach was actually joking about it, but he came back. Now we finally talking trash, all the DVs, so he brought that aspect back. But, you see me and him and our defense out there, it's a scary sight. So we just trying to get it started now.
You guys don't even let the practice refs off the hook or the real refs when they're here.
Oh, yeah, we're competitive as a team, but especially on defense, we're competitive. We hate getting flags. We hate giving up catches. Jalen said it today, if they're open, that means that the receiver pushed off. So, and it's true. So that's the mindset that we have, and we just giving them a hard time, but we having fun with it.
It looked like Deacon Mills came over to talk to you guys. Was he encouraging you to settle down a little bit, or?
he thought we said something that wasn't supposed to be said, but I talked to him after. I was like, man, you just heard wrong. We just passionate. So it was all good.
AJ, could you just talk about how much fun you think the fun that you guys have together as a group, how much that kind of translates to the fan base? Because it does seem like if they see you guys sort of
definitely
around with each other and teasing each other and needling each other.
Oh, definitely. It's fun, man. We have a strong bond, especially in the back end. But as a defense, we come in every defensive meeting having jokes, make the rookies, talk and stuff like that. But we're always roasting each other, just having a good time. But as soon as we step in between those lines, we're so serious. And you just – especially my first year coming here, it was a little different. I felt like I had more to prove, but now that I'm really paying attention to everything, you could just see how close this team is. And that's one thing that we're doing. We know what we did last year, but we got a lot to prove still.
Do you expect a big jump for this defense, being that you guys are all together for the second year, most of you anyway?
I'm not even going to say a big jump. It's just more of a consistency towards, especially towards the end of the season, toward the end of the games. We've dominated games, had shutouts, and then we just get relaxed. And that's one thing that our coach talked to us about when we first got back. So, the mentality we have out here running all these plays and stuff like that, we don't trip because we know what it's there for and what we're trying to get better at.
What stands out to you about DJ Chark?
DJ Chark, that man athletic. He got a baby face, but he played like he 30 or something. But, yeah, him and Jalen working, you love to see those matchups because you're going against the best in the game. And if you see him doing something like that to Jalen, it's like – you get excited, but not only him, Keelan Cole is taking another big step, but that wide receiver room, it got a lot of competition.
What's the competitiveness like? Like Keelan Cole said the other day that he always picks you out to cover him, and Chark is on the other side with Ramsey, and these guys are picking you guys out.
It's fun. One thing I could say, I'm excited to see what Blake does this year because I think our receivers don't get enough credit, and it's showed this offseason. And then once we get Moncrief and Keith back, it's going to be amazing. Those guys are out there making plays, and they can really run. And now that Blake's out there airing the ball out, those guys have shown that they could go get it.
What's your impression of Austin Sperry-Jenkins so far?
He's big. He's real big, but he's a big red zone threat. And, he's actually faster than what people think. He got great game speed, but you could tell this year we definitely have more weapons, younger. And, they're going to be helping us out a lot, just like we're going to be helping them out a lot.
Last year, everything came together so well with you and Calais and Barry coming in. Do you get amped up for climbing back up the mountain again and trying to take that final step and make it to where you guys hope?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. All offseason, I was just thinking about that last game against New England. We was that close. The first thing we talked about when we got back was how close we were. What happened with our defense is in the past. We put up all those numbers, individual stats and all that stuff, but it's a new year. And, there's teams that are really studying us now as a defense, and we're just going to be ready for everything. We're just going to continue to make plays.
There's been teams that have been so close to making the Super Bowl and never really got back to that point to put themselves in that position. Does that motivate you to sort of not let it be a one-off?
Yeah, most definitely. But like I talked to some people, and I even talked to Malik about it, I think the year they lost to the Ravens in the AFC Championship, and then they came back the next year, or was that they lost in the Super Bowl or something like that, and came back the next year and won against Carolina. It was one of those. So it's really just getting over that hump. It's the NFL. You're going against great players, but the grind that we're doing now is going to pay off in the end. We just going to have to stay on top of it once the season starts.
Last year, you were one of the defenders that was big on telling us how good the defense is. And now it seems going into this season, you guys have like doubled down on that. Could you just talk about that mindset of that coming into this year?
Yeah, definitely. We're still making plays. Nothing's changed. We got everybody back this year. We're really healthy, especially last year I missed all of camp. Jalen missed most of camp. AC missed most of camp. But now that everybody's back, we're back healthy. And then Miles Jack, I think he don't get enough credit. I watch him a lot on film, and even a lot of other players talk about how much of a defense, how better of a defense we are because of him. And so we just got too many athletes on defense, and we got to capitalize on this opportunity while it's here.
You guys were so close to Cole. What's it been like building that relationship with Hayden?
It's been good. He's out there competing. He's definitely making plays. There's a lot of competition. And, I went to UCF. He went to Houston, so I definitely knew what he was capable of when he was at Houston. And, I feel like he's going to come in and just make plays. He's been doing it so far, and he's athletic too, so that's what's going to help us out.
Let me ask you this. Having defense weighted now, Paul Posluszny's not there. There's a leadership role on the field and in the locker room. What is that like now, the dynamic? You walk in there and you don't see him there?
It's definitely tough just for the simple fact he was a true pro. He did everything by the book. He's taking care of his body. He never caused problems, and he was a great teammate. But at the same time, the next guy got to step up. And then you have a leader in Telvin. He's definitely been keeping us, and Calais has been keeping us up to date and everything, and just making sure we're on our stuff. So even me, B. Church, Jalen, we have a lot of vets that's just going to have to take a leadership role. We miss Puz. You could tell the difference out there, but like I said, it's NFL, next man up.
Teams get built in so many different ways, but is it kind of crazy to think that Jalen, Miles, and Yannick all appeared in one draft?
That's amazing. Miles was a steal. We all know that. And I'm glad that he's here with us. And then Jan, he proved a lot of people wrong, and he still feel he has something to prove. And you can just see it every day with him. He's grinding. Even when he's not on the field, everything's just so serious with him. And you got to respect somebody like that who just wants to win every day.
Is the chip on your shoulder ever going to come off now that you've made your money and you've had your Pro Bowl season and all that stuff?
No, definitely not. For me, I'll always have that, statement that I was undrafted. So they're always going to try to figure out, well, if I give up a play, now we see why. And not even that, I've talked trash with a few players this offseason, and somebody say, well, y'all still the Jaguars. So that definitely motivates me because I know that's how people in the league are looking at us. But if y'all want to sleep, y'all can. We just going to do the same thing again, so I'm not worried about it. So, yeah.
Thanks, AJ. DJ Sharp, pretty impressive day to day. What have you seen out of him? He's been awesome. He's gotten better each and every day. I mean, we talk about it in the quarterback room all the time. He's definitely headed in the right direction and on the right track, and he's obviously got the physical tools that you can't really coach as far as size and speed and ability to go get the ball and make plays. And he's an open book. He learns as much as he can, retains as much information as he can, and he's improving each and every day. So he's been fun to watch, and it's only going to become more fun to continue watching him get better.
Safarian Jenkins said the other day in here that Dede is always in the right spot. He was talking about sort of the chemistry that he's building with you and getting in the right spot. But he mentioned Dede. How good a job, in your opinion, has Dede Westbrook done at getting in the right spot?
He's a really good football player, and he's got a good knack for how to play football. He's not always necessarily the biggest or the strongest or the fastest, but he knows what he's got. He knows what he does well, and he knows how to beat guys. And he does a good job getting, the right leverage and leaning on guys and doing a good job in man. And in zone coverage, he knows where to get and he knows when to get there, So it's nice and relaxing as a quarterback to know that, when I get ready to let this ball go, he's going to be in the right place at the right time. And, he's proven to be able to do that consistently day in and day out this camp.
How different is it having Jalen out there?
He brings a whole different level of competitiveness. I think as far as having him and AJ opposite each other, they're both really good corners, two of the best in the league, no doubt about that. And obviously him and the personality that he has as far as challenging guys and kind of chirping guys and getting in guys' ears. I think it's good. It's all friendly competition. It's going to make everybody better, and I think it's going to prepare us for whoever we play throughout the season.
Him being back out there, do you just want to test him once, or do you just want to say it's not worth it?
No, yeah, I love throwing at him as much as we can, because he makes our guys better. Our guys got to work to. I mean, if you catch a ball on Jalen, that's a good rep, because he's going to make you earn it. So it challenges those guys, and I like challenging him as well. There's times in games where people kind of avoid him. So I think to evenly disperse the way I treat it in practice, just go through the reads, pick a side, don't worry about who's playing corner. We got two really good ones, and through the game week and preparation, so there's some guys that you throw away from or don't throw at as much. But I think it's important in practice to just go through the reads and progressions, and whoever's running the routes got to try and win, against whoever's guarding them.
At what point camp do you start to itch to face an opponent?
I think it's probably more so for the guys up front that are hitting the same people every day. I'm sure they get tired of seeing the same faces. I think for me, or a quarterback, it's fun to go see a different scheme, go see something different. We go against our defense and watch the scheme every single day. So to go up and practice against a Minnesota who's got a really good defense with a really good, coordinator and a really good scheme, it'll be fun to go up there and get some work against the stuff that they do.
Your comfort zone is probably better than it's ever been here in your career here. But how much does it excite you for the season when you see a defense that seems to get so jacked up about everything? I mean, they seem to be so together as a group and so focused, more turnovers, which you're going to be the beneficiary.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that all helps us out. It's impressive to watch. That's a close-knit group. Getting a chance to play against them every day and watching them work and the way they feed off of each other, the way that they string good plays together, and it's kind of just a snowball effect. Once they start feeling good and playing good and rolling, it's kind of hard to turn that around as an offense because they get the emotions and they're flying around. So it's always a good challenge for us as far as they might beat us 2 or 3 plays in a row, and we got to find a way. To overcome something and create some plays and do some stuff because that's going to happen in a game.
As a follow-up, does it do anything for you fuel-wise when people talk about the Jaguars as being a team that could do great things, but there's always that but, and the but usually has to do with the quarterback? Does that stuff just roll off your back or just
yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. It's all in the same category of people just saying whatever they want. I don't care. I come to work every day and try and get better and try and, once the season starts, help this team win football games, and doing that in whatever way I can.
Have you been as consistent as you would like first week?
Yeah, I think the positive is that the lows aren't near as low as they were. They're still up and down, which is going to be, especially when you play our defense every day. But I think, the ceilings or the floor has risen, I guess, in a weird way of saying that the lows aren't as bad. It's 1, 2, 3 bad plays compared to, there were times last year I'd go a whole day having a bad practice and, not really feel good about it. So I think as long as you continue to kind of make those lows not quite as bad as they, have been in the past, I think we'll have a chance.
The bad practices haven't happened.
We've done a good job as a group, whether it's a period or a couple plays or 3 plays in a row where the defense has kind of got us, we've done a good job of overcoming that and having some successful plays, kind of stringing together a good drive or a good series or a good period or, whatever the situation may be.
When he was signed, Andrew Norwell said that one thing he really looked forward to was protecting you. How do you feel he's meshed with the offensive line, and kind of describe your relationship with him so far?
He's been incredible. He's intent. He's the perfect guard. He's got the person. Obviously fits the physical, stereotype, and he's got the perfect mindset and personality to be, kind of a mean grinder, beat 'em up guy inside the trenches, and he loves doing it, and he's really good at it. I think he's fit in perfectly with those 5 guys up front or those 4 other guys up front, and once we got the pads on, you're kind of able to see how good of a football player he is and why he was brought here and given all that money. So it's been fun to watch him play.
I know you're gone. in the position group, but how much do you think Doug has sort of relished working with the offensive line hands-on the last couple of days? He seems like on Tuesday he sort of seemed like he's going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd imagine, I have no idea what that feeling's like, but I'd imagine it's pretty cool. He's an offensive lineman. He was an offensive line coach, and, to get the opportunity to go back and kind of be hands-on with the offensive line again, I'm sure it's something that he enjoys doing, and is happy to be able to do that. So I know those guys, respect him as an offensive line coach and the stuff that he gives them technique-wise and all that, so I know they enjoy having him there.
Last one. AJ Cann seems like he's gotten off to a great start. What have you seen out of him so far?
He's been good. He's kind of always been he's quiet and consistent. We're going into his fourth year. He's a year behind me going into his fourth year. You don't ever really have to worry about him. He's going to play. He's going to do his job. You're not going to hear about him. You're not going to get hit from a block that he missed or anything like that. He's really consistent. He does his job extremely well, and he's super accountable and dependable.
Thanks, Blake.
Thanks, Blake.